What is going on, guys? This is Crozen, and someone actually wanted me to make a little video on if crafting runes was actually worth it in this game. Since I went over the whole bone charm crafting guide and I showed you how trait synergy is probably the best enhancement that you can get in this game, since you're able to craft your own bone charms and stack them up to 4 times. But this whole left side is really only there if you wanted to go ahead and craft your own runes. Like I said, you don't even really need these other two enhancements here if you were just single-handedly stacking your own bone charm. So you would initially have to spend 8 runes in order to go ahead and get the craft runes perk, and then from there, as you see, now you can go ahead and you got this whole rune section unlocked, and you can craft your own runes by spending an initial 9 raw whalebone. Now, as you guys see, I actually have 40 whalebone on me currently. I'm on the last mission. I like to explore a lot. I spend a couple hours on each mission, and I probably have most of them that you can find in the game. And as you see, if I just went by that, I would only be able to craft 4 runes. So at this point, I'm still down. I've pretty much spent 8 runes in order to craft 4. But we are going to be sacrificing bone charms as well, and all of these regular bone charms, you're going to sacrifice these anyways in order to get the traits. So let's go ahead and sacrifice all of these, and if you guys want an example, if you guys want to know, I basically have all the bone charms in the game, so this will kind of give you a good insight on how many runes you can actually craft with this. But basically sacrificing all of my regular bone charms, that left me with an extra 37 whalebone, I believe, and that means that I can go ahead and craft yet another 4 runes. And at this point, I sacrificed all my regular bone charms. I had 40 initial raw whalebone as well, and I'm only able to craft a total of 8 runes, and I spent 8 runes in order to get this enhancement. So at this point, I didn't gain anything. I just pretty much broke even. But we're also going to take into account all of these corrupted bone charms, since these are probably terrible as well. I honestly don't even use any of these corrupted ones either. So let's go ahead and just sacrifice all the corrupted ones, just to give you guys a little bit further, a little bit of a better example, I guess. But sacrificing all of the corrupted ones, now that leaves me with an extra 2 runes that I can go ahead and craft. So at this point, I sacrificed all my regular bone charms and my corrupted ones, and I was only able to get 2 runes out of this whole investment. So I pretty much spent 8 runes in order to get the enhancement, and I'm able to craft a total of 10 so far, so I only gained 2. Now let's even take that a step further, and let's go ahead and sacrifice a couple of these black bone charms, since normally what I like to do anyways, I like to keep maybe about 5 black bone charms, and then the rest of them I go ahead and craft about 5 stacked bone charms as well. So let's go ahead and keep 5 initial black bone charms that I have left total. And if you guys take a look, if you really wanted to craft another 5 bone charms in order with 4 traits, you would basically have to have a total of 30 raw whalebone. So say we do require an initial 6 raw whalebone, and then obviously times 5 would be 30. So if you take that into account, that would be 30 raw whalebone that I would need just for crafting 5 more bone charms, and that would leave me with another 10 raw whalebone in order to craft a rune. So at this point, I basically only gained 3 runes total. I basically sacrificed all of my bone charms. If you guys look, I only have 5 left. And then I also am taking into account that I'm going to be able to craft another 5 bone charms, which would be 30 raw whalebone, in order to have 4 stacked traits on 5 different bone charms. And I was only able to get 3 extra runes total after all of this trouble. Now, basically, if you guys want my opinion on this, it's not worth it at all in order to get this whole left side. You have to spend 8 runes in order to get the craft runes perk, and you only get 3 runes total. After having 40 raw whalebone, sacrificing all of my bone charms, which I only have 5 left, and then also taking into account that I was going to craft 5 different bone charms with 4 traits, I only got 3 runes back after spending 8. Now, that's really not a good investment, right? So It's really not worth it, guys. Now, New Game Plus will probably make this a little bit better, because at that point, if you, depending on how they do it, if you do have all your powers and enhancements that carry over into the game, and you're still able to find runes and bone charms, then it might be worth it to get this, because at that point, you're probably going to have enough runes anyways to spend on anything. But currently, if you are starting the game brand new, or if you're thinking about getting this on your first playthrough, by all means, don't get this. It's terrible. I know a lot of people will debate that it's probably worth it, but in my opinion, it's totally useless on your very first playthrough, and I wouldn't get this. And I guess that's my whole take on it. So I'll leave you guys with that. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.